Today we're going to start looking at percentages. If we look at the meaning of percentages, percent means per 100. So to illustrate this, we're going to look at first a number line. So we're going to create a number line with the headings 1% and 100%. We'll start on the less than 1% side. So we know that 0 is less than 1, so we'll put that in our number line. We're also going to look at 0.5, which is less than 1%. Place that on our number line, we look at about halfway between. If I divide that number 2, I get 0.25 or 1/4. I'll put that on our number line as well. Finally, if I divide that in half one more time, I get 0.125%. So all these numbers exist between 0 and 1%. Those all exist between the numbers 1% and 100% as well. Let's look at greater than 100%. So we know 100.5% is greater than 100%. So place that on our number line. We can continue the same pattern we used earlier, which is 0.25%. Place that on our number line. And 100.125%. All these numbers exist and are greater than 100%. We can even use larger numbers like 1000%. And even larger numbers like 10,000%. These can go on infinitely, which is why I've used the infinity sign on our number line. These are just some examples of numbers that exist outside the 1 to 100%. So now we're going to look at how to convert percent to decimals and to fractions. In order to do this, we're going to construct a little chart. We're going to look at 5 different examples. We'll start with 100% because that's probably the easiest one. And again, going back to our meaning, that means 100 per 100 or 100 over 100 for our fraction. We can reduce that fraction. It's actually equivalent to 1, which is why our decimal is actually 1.00. Now let's look at 50%. That means 50 per 100 or 50 over 100, which we can reduce to 1/2. This equates to our decimal being 0.50. 1% means 1 per 100, or 1 over 100. When I convert to a decimal, it's 0.01. Now looking at the larger number, 1,000 per 100 means 1,000 over 100, which I can reduce to 10 over 1, or 10. So its decimal form is 10.00. Now our 0.1%, or 1/10, is 1/10 per 100. So if I write that as a fraction, it's 0.1 over 100. Well, I can't have a decimal in my numerator. So I need to multiply both to get an equivalent fraction, and we'll multiply by 10, which will give me 1 over 1,000, or 1/1000th of a percent. So looking at our place values, I have a 0 in my ones column, 0 in my tenths and hundreds column, and a 1 in my thousandths column. So here's an example combining a couple different concepts. 21.3% means 21.3 over 100. Well, I can't have my decimal, so I need to multiply by 10. So I get 213 over 1,000. So when converting to a decimal, a little saying just to help you remember, we're just moving our decimal place to the left twice. So we say to the left, giving us 0.213 as our equivalent. Finally, let's look at a really small number, 0.0725. So our 10th column, 100th column, 1,000th column, and even a 10,000th column. So where our final digit rests tells us what our fraction needs to be. So I'm going to start with 10,000 and write 725 over top, which means I can reduce. Both are divisible by 25. And 25 is 1. 7 times 4 give me 28, so I have 29 over 400. Converting to our percentage, I'm going to multiply my decimal times 100, which means moving our decimal place 2 steps to the right. So I have 7.25%. Thanks for watching.